What was life like before Alpha? Before Alpha, I grew up going to church with my family, and so I knew all the stories, I knew all the songs, I knew when to stand up and sit down, but I hadn't been to church for a very long time. I didn't really feel like I needed it in my life. Life was going okay. I had a few questions, but I really kind of came along to Alpha from an intellectual point of view, just to challenge some of the ideas that I had. Why we're here? Why does God allow bad things to happen? Those sorts of things, really. I was recommended to, or it was suggested to me to go to Alpha by a friend of mine who actually came to St Mark's Church, and she thought it might be something that I'd be interested in. So I did that. I signed up for it and came along, really just to see whether there was anything that I might learn or discover about myself. What happened on Alpha? Well, Alpha. It was kind of weekly meetings, and I came into the first meeting, and it was a bit overwhelming, to be honest. And I did feel a little bit like an outsider. I found it quite difficult, if I'm absolutely honest, for the first few weeks. And actually, probably for a good few weeks, I could have actually left and not come back in at any point. I could have decided not to go back the following week. But I did keep going. I even remember contacting the friend who'd recommended me to go to Alpha and saying, actually, I really don't think that this is for me. But anyway, I did keep going, and as the weeks went on, we got to know each other better, and as we got to know each other better, we started to open up a little bit. And it was about halfway through when things started to change for me, and I felt like my questions were being answered, and in quite a structured way. It's quite clever the way that one week follows on from another, and you get that little bit more information, which just builds on the information that you've had the week before, but then you've had a week to digest that information, and then you come back and you've got more questions. So I went from being very sceptical to suddenly being really, really hungry for information. So the friend that had recommended Alpha to me also recommended a book by C.S. Lewis called Mere Christianity, which I started reading alongside that. And I read that in about a week, and then I wanted to read more. So my Kindle library was suddenly full of books that have Christianity or Jesus in the title. And I share the library with my daughter, so she was a little bit, I just thought it was all a little bit strange what was going on. But I was just hungry for more information. I just wanted to know more. I wanted to understand. I felt like I was beginning to see something that I had never seen before, despite having gone to church a lot as a child. And that just grew in me. The Holy Spirit Day, when there's sort of an away day in Alpha, and that was quite a sort of transformational experience for me. And I had quite a personal experience of the Holy Spirit, which did sort of. It did really change the way that I looked at everything in my life, really. It made me think very hard, and it was something that made me look at all my life and my relationships. I think it was after that I thought, well, maybe I'll take the plunge and give church a try. What difference has knowing Jesus made to my life? Well, it's just changed everything, the way that I look at everything, my relationships with my family, the things that I do in my life, the way I work, the way I think, the way I approach things. I now downloaded a Bible app, and I read that each morning. I really love coming to church on a Sunday. It's so much fun. I never thought that church could be fun. And I just feel like I'm very much on the beginning of a journey. So I feel like Alpha's kick-started something for me. And I'm just really starting on that. I feel there's so much more to discover, and so much more to learn about myself and about the world around me in this new light, really. What would I say to somebody who's thinking about coming to Alpha? I would say give it a try and don't give up if it feels hard at the beginning.